everyone. It's really great to be here for the first time in person since 2019. So I have less of a pitch and more of a provocation. And because 2 minutes is a really brutal amount of time to speak in, I'm going to be reading a little bit. All right. So when you imagine a circular economy, what do you see? I see a future where all living things are flourishing, where people have control over how they spend their time, most importantly. They have dignified, meaningful jobs and plenty of time to spend on their families, communities, and personal pursuits. This is possible because we have built new circular value chains that actually not only cycle resources within communities, but keep that wealth going to the people who are engaged in those value chains. Cities are green and peaceful. The hinterlands are a productive mosaic of regenerative agriculture, energy production, and healthy ecosystems. So how do we get to this circular, regenerative, and more importantly, inclusive future? Closing material loops, something that we're going to be talking about a lot throughout this entire few days, is an important part of this, but it's clearly not the entire picture. You can fully close material loops in ways that allow existing power players to keep all of the resources and wealth for themselves, or in ways that maintain unsustainable demand for new virgin material. To achieve this vision, circularity cannot be limited to recycling, which is something that we've already heard, but it also cannot be limited just to materials management. We actually need to restructure the incentive systems and value chains that underlie the functioning of our economy. And we need to move fast to avoid tipping points in natural systems. So, as you all know, our linear economy has created exponential problems, as you can see in these exponentially growing hockey stick curves. And to solve exponential problems like this, we need exponential solutions, ones that target the root causes and can bend those curves. So over the last 10 years that I've been running my company, Metabolic, I've been fascinated with understanding the formula for this kind of transformative systems change. How do you design, engineer, basically, systems change? So I want to share two powerful elements of our approach. There's a whole slew of them, but only two. So the first element is future visions. When you envision a circular future, what parts of your organization have a place in that future? Does your organization exist in that future at all? You can use this vision to prioritize R&D trajectories and identify collaborations. Visions are a powerful internal rallying and storytelling tool, and they can quickly make it clear whether or not you're on the right track. Just imagine, am I actually moving toward my vision through the actions that I'm taking on? By acting in line with what we want the future to look like, we slowly make that future our reality. The second element of our approach is designing self-replicating solutions. So to create rapid change at scale, we need solutions that spread on their own, that grow like the fractals in this image. So they need to be able to copy themselves on their own. And to do that, they have to deliver strong benefits to all participating actors. They can't be blocked by things like copyright restrictions or patents, and they have to come with instructions for replication. As you go through these intense days of exchanging ideas and building new collaborations for circularity, the thing that I would like to ask you all to do is keep this bigger perspective in mind. Think about not just the material cycles and closing those, but really what kind of economy should the circular economy be? So come and share your vision with us, me. I would love to talk about this with all of you. And let's explore how much more there is to gain from a circular future than just closing material loops. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Atlanta, and they do call it Hotlanta for a reason. My name is Michelle Wiseman. I'm with the City of Atlanta, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, the Resilience Edition. So, I have a question for y'all. Why do we recycle cans and throw away buildings? My name is Michelle Wiseman, and I am on the board of Build Reuse. Build Reuse is an organization that really focuses on the intentional building or deconstruction of buildings. So why is that important? When we look at these buildings, and I'm going to ask you all right now to look up and look down. Look at all of these materials, and I do this at home a lot. Really look at your office, your home, and see all of the material, the good material that is in your home. So what we're looking at are assets for our community. So we've really started working with the Life Cycle Building Center. We are very fortunate here in the city of Atlanta to have a Life Cycle Building Center. And the Life Cycle Building Center goes in and does an evaluation prior to a home, a building, or any structure being torn down to see what's reusable, what's recyclable, what can be repurposed. So this is the highest form of recycling that we can do. And how do we do that? We're looking at working with developers, looking at architects, looking at all of the builders and all of the people that are engaged with building to see how we can repurpose this material. For example, we're also working with what they call Materials Can. It's an organization of manufacturers that really want their material back. Interface, that is based here in the city of Atlanta, they want their carpet back at the end of life. Armstrong, ceiling tiles, they want their ceiling tiles. Can you imagine all the cabling, all of the good structure, all of the wood that is in the bones of these buildings that we could really deconstruct and make resources for our community? The other thing that's really, really, really powerful about deconstruction are the opportunities for workforce development. If you look at these community-based assets, you could really put people to work by taking things apart. Ask any 12-year-old, what's the best way to learn something? Take it apart. So if we could train people, and we're talking about all kinds of people, and I love this business because there are a lot of females in this business. You can take young people, people that don't have education, skilled trade is fine, right? You can learn these skills and tear down these buildings, then learn how to build up the buildings, because if you all know anything about the construction industry right now, they actually have a shortage of people, workers for the future. So these are green businesses. These are green opportunities. We need affordable housing, right? So we can take affordable housing, instead of tearing homes down, we can redo them. We can make them more efficient. It's an opportunity for historic preservation. The other thing is, too, is that now that we're all working from home, what's going to happen to all of these empty buildings all over? We could reimagine. This is a huge opportunity for us to reimagine buildings and facilities and spaces with deconstruction and with our opportunity here. This is a photograph of the Candida building. It's on Georgia Tech's campus. It's a zero emissions building, which means that it does not use any energy. Compostable toilets, everything it's totally off the grid. So the beautiful thing about this building is they work with the Life Cycle Building Center to reuse a lot of the materials that are inside that building. It's pretty amazing. Finally, I want to just ask you all your call to action, because I am on the board for Build Reuse. And we are having a virtual conference in October. To talk to me if you have any ideas on speakers or topics for our upcoming conference. The wonderful thing about having virtual conferences is that we can have people from all over the world. I know that because last year I moderated a gentleman from Costa Rica, and it was amazing. We know that all over the world, people are doing really innovative things. I was just talking to my friend Scott here, and he was just in the Netherlands or, some place in Europe. They're doing amazing things. We can take those things and collaborate and work together and reimagine, re-innovate, re-engineer, and bring everybody around, because this is an asset that could go for everybody. Not educated, previously incarcerated, builders. It's a fabulous opportunity. Females, we're really looking to build this. So please see us. We have the Life Cycle Building Center is with Reapley. We do have a booth. Please come and see us. And please, we'd love to share any suggestions you have for our upcoming conference. Thank you.